So 174, the winner of this match right here will be in Kansas City. So you got to love it. Aishin's already with that great win over Augustine. And now here's what's interesting. I mean, you got to figure NC State Stars, the big favorite, Console actually moved up a weight to go at 174. And if he can somehow pull off a miracle, that'll keep Len Lanham's streak alive of sending a Duke athlete to the NCAAs. Of course, he might have some other opportunities. I haven't looked at every bracket for an AQ, but I think it's limited at best. Fair to say?
I believe so. Right now, Barkett at 285. He's trying to get in that large bid. Taking on Katka.
Yeah, you had mentioned earlier that he liked his chances potentially.
He could. Coach Lanham has picked him out as someone he thinks has the skill to get there. Obviously, he's got to pick up the wins. I know coming down the stretch, there were some big wins he picked up, especially in ACC play, but it's not guaranteed. If not this year, he definitely has a good look at next year and a good understanding of how to wrestle at the heavyweight position in the ACC. So he's got a really bright future either way. Same thing with Gaetano Consul, someone who Coach Lanham says is a guy who does everything right, works hard every single day.
Still zeros here in this one. That means so much because there are 4 automatic qualifiers out of 174. So the winner of the match right in front of us here, Mat 2, ACC Network Extra, will not only meet Aishin's, but it won't matter as they will have already qualified for the NCAAs. Doesn't happen that often, but there have been times when you get to the consolation final where one of the wrestlers at times does elect to sit out knowing that they're headed to Kansas City, depending on their health. Still at zeros here, Nick.
Yeah, right now, a little surprising. Consul really struggled in ACC wrestling and obviously did not wrestle at 174. And there's Faison taking the initiative I thought he would. I think he's a very good wrestler, obviously, how he's done today. He has 4 or a couple ranked wins in the year. He's a captain for a reason. He qualified for NCAAs a year ago.
Trying to ensure he gets back there, and he will if he can hang on to this win.
Just a really good job. Gets across to that other knee, is able to pull it in while putting that left shoulder into the rib of Consul for that takedown.
Faison with the thriller over Augustine from Pitt, and then he lost to Lewis, but it wasn't easy for Lewis. I mean, final score is 5-1. I felt like he represented himself well as he gets some more points here.
He's lost to Lewis in double overtime in his career, so a guy he has been up there with, which is really saying something for how good Lewis is.
Saying a ton. Well said.
And that's why I think that Faison is a guy that, you know, can take care of business here in the semifinals and is looking to get that 3rd place spot in an AQ right here. As you see there, kind of does what his teammate Ivy's done a lot today in that one match he's wrestled. He got to the underhook with his right arm, started to rotate, pushing in, gets to the leg and swings behind for the takedown to make it 6-1.
Yeah, like highly, almost in bulldozer fashion, Nick.
Exactly. That's what I like about the NC State wrestlers. It's They wrestle like nothing's in their way. They can do what they want. They wrestle with a lot of confidence. And it's amazing how much the mental side comes into wrestling, because a lot of guys, they talk about, hey, in the room they do really well, and in practice they're doing really well. But can it click on the mat? That's a big part of it. If it can't, you know, you're not going to pick up those wins. And that's why you have guys who coaches talk about, oh, he's great. Sometimes he's just cold. He can't get it together.
He's on with more points. Wait, he put the 3 up, then he waved it off? Did you see that?
I believe so. He put the 3 up and then immediately waved it off. And here's another look at it. We'll see if great drag by, keeps pushing it away. I think right there's a takedown. Right where he put his hands up, just like the official. I thought that's 3. I don't know why they'd take that away. They might have felt once he got down, then Console immediately started to slip out, which wouldn't have been control for the 3 points. Either way, Faison up 7-1.
Faison has a little over a minute left here in the second. He has shown the ability to tech fall opposition. It's another way to lock it up. Decent track of that.
Yeah, if you want to end the match early, you got 2 options: pin or tech fall, and the tech falls win by 15 or more. Once you get to 15, they'll just end the match, which we've seen once or twice today.
Yeah.
Tech fall's not as common once you get to this ACC championship, but some of those 1 seeds just very talented. Ishins, I know, from North Carolina, had a tech earlier.
Hidley has pretty much, I think, tech followed everybody in his weight class this season.
Wouldn't surprise me. If you look at Hidley's record this year, he's 5-0 in the ACC. Tech fault, Max Stout, tech fault, Max Shaw, tech fault, Andy Smith. Major decision on Kinsey, and then tech fault, Quasi Bonsu. So only 1 has lasted a full match.
Thanks for the double check there as he's on with his 7-1 lead.
As we will head back to 184, the next match on mat number 1, Gaetano, North Carolina.
So heading into that third period in the other match, Kevin Kane now going against Connor Becker of Duke on mat 1. As you mentioned, we have some switching going on, trying to get through the matches quick.
So pretty sure Catco won, right, over Barquette from Duke. Is that right?
I do not know for sure. Try and get word on that. Looks like needed some blood time. Console did come into this one. You see it on his nose. He already had a cut, so it looks like it got agitated. Needed some blood time going into this third period.
I'm gonna try to roll out of this. And spin out for a point. Console basically needs some sort of miracle move here and a pin. What a story that would be, as Duke really limited this year on depth. They had some athletes decide to graduate and not come back. They are a really young team. Well, there for a while, Glenn Lanham with the 4 fine silvers and Casper had 5 automatics, like pretty much every year for the NCAAs. Now, the fine silvers.
The fine silver dynasty.
Oh my goodness. 2 sets of twins coming out of Colorado and really kind of putting Duke wrestling on the map during that time.
I mentioned it with Katka. Siblings in wrestling.
Yeah.
They do really well. Especially twins. because they're usually same size, same build, you're the same age. So you're always practicing together. You always have a built-in partner. Got some more blood time here on mat 2, which is the extended match mat. We've had multiple long matches here on mat 2.
There was one year, at least, where all 4 fine silvers made the NCAAs. 3 made it through the automatic qualifier. 1 made it as an at-large.
Yeah, now Duke trying to get back to a position where they're sending guys every single year. And this year, you just mentioned it, a very young team, so a lot to build towards. Consul obviously wrestling up to 174, so not his usual weight. He wrestled at 174 for a duel against UNC last year, so not uncommon. And there it is again from Faison. Very similar to his teammate Hydley. Gets to the underhook and uses that. Could drop Consul to his back right here. And Consul sees it coming and gets to his stomach.
So Alex Faison, who went last year, is going to do it again. And do what? Well, he's going to go to the NCAAs. This time it'll be in Kansas City. And he'll get a pin as well. How about that with 2 seconds remaining?
Just for good measure. And also, that helps with the team score.
Yeah.
That does bump up NC State, who right now is with a commanding lead over Virginia Tech, and especially with so many guys in the finals, that's going to continue to go up. There's a look at that pin again. See the Consul just trying to get around in a scramble. Faison's so good, he just sees it. He's like, okay, he's on his side. And just throw in the extended half, get around and put him to his